So we thought we'll start a quick fire 30-minute session before lunch is served. This, my parents stressed, is not a celebration, it's a Thanksgiving. I'm not sure what the difference is because I think it has elements of both in each other. But anyway, the bar remains open, like Deepika mentioned earlier, so please feel free to keep going. Yes, Martin, thank you. What's amazing about this group out here is that if you go back to their first year of marriage, there are people in this room from then to people they've met recently. So actually 50 years is fully represented by people in this room. And almost every phase of their life, there's someone or the other who's present here. What I want to start with is something simple. I want to just take 1 minute. Let's just be silent. And since they stressed it was a Thanksgiving, if each one of you all could just spend the next 1 minute silently, just thinking about people that you are thankful for. And that's it. Just for a minute.
Yes, Russell.
Thank you, God.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, God, for the blessings showered upon Phyllis, Roman, and their family.
I thought of my children.
Okay.
Very grateful.
Yeah. Marianne says, grateful to her children.
Different. We literally want to throw it open. My mother was explaining to her brother last evening that apparently it's a family tradition. Can't hear me? Now, okay, excellent. So we're going to do it differently. We did this when Deepika and I got married. We did it at my father's 75th birthday celebration, and we'll do it today. We're just going to throw it open to the floor. Anybody can raise a toast. Try and keep it to 1 or 2 minutes because we do want to cover everybody.
As librarian, and after I left that school, I kind of had nothing to do, and Phyllis said, would you like to do workshops for children with me? And I was really nervous because I had never done anything like that before. So to calm my nervousness, what Phyllis did was she booked me in a school for a 10-day workshop. And she said, you're just going, report there on such and such day at such and such time. And I said, Phyllis, how is that supposed to calm my nerves? She said, yeah, when you start doing it, you will know you can and you know you enjoy it. And that's precisely what happened. I thank you so much, Phyllis, for just booking me there that day. And I'm very, very grateful that at the beginning of this new career, I had Phyllis and Roman as my mentors, because there were certain things that were ingrained into me at the beginning of that new career that I realized later are actually very good values, and they were just being practiced normally by Phyllis and Romuald, and I realized later that these are very good things that they've ingrained. The first thing was that Phyllis always prepares for any individual session. No matter how many times she has covered that topic before, she will not go before an audience unprepared that time. And I think that has stood me in very good stead, just watching her as a role model, preparing for every individual session. And the other thing that was ingrained into me was, once you've decided that a workshop is for a particular age group and for a particular number of children, and you plan for that, no matter what the pressure may be on you to exceed that age group or exceed that number of children, you do not exceed it. And I think these are some phenomenal things that I learned from the two of you, and I just am so grateful for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonali. Sonali had the wedding anniversary, and today she's here at our 5th year. Thank you so much, Sonali. And her father is there, of course.
Because it's a toast, I'm standing up. It's actually a song from an old movie, Marjorie Morningstar. Here's to you, Phyllis, and here's to you, Roman, and here's to your 50th golden wedding anniversary. Here's to days gone by and those that are to be. And here's to your golden wedding anniversary. And if we have our way, one day, a long time from now, we will say, here's to you, Phyllis, here's to your Roman, and here's to your 60th diamond anniversary.
Paul's cousin and Phyllis's cousin, and I'm here to wish them all the very best. Roman and Phyllis have been as close to me as, I would say, even closer than my own brothers and sisters. But I've always held Roman in very high esteem, a very forthright, down-to-earth, open, what should I say, straightforward person. He never minces any words in what he says, and sometimes he may sound a little harsh. He has been harsh with me in his words, for which I thank him, because he has guided me. I couldn't find a more dependable person, I would say, to rest my woes on. Thank you, Romal, for all that you've been to me, and thank you to Phyllis, a wonderful partner. They started life out like we would say any young couple would start on a raft. The years have gone by and the raft has blown into a boat, and today maybe they are on a luxury liner. All credit goes to both Phyllis and Romal, who have worked hard, who have disciplined not only themselves, disciplined many of us in the years. Sandeep, I'm sure, will agree with that too. But I thank them, and I'm very happy. I wish them all the very best. To Phyllis, especially, I have a special word to say. I will say all of us women have to take a leaf out of Phyllis's book to learn how to manage and how to deal with husbands who are so straightforward and down to earth. It's not easy. I'm not sure if I agree with this, but credit goes to Phyllis. We wish her all the best. We wish Sandeep and Deepika and Manya and Niti all the very best. God bless you all.
You don't know me, I'm Deepika's younger sister, I'm Shilpa. I will officially represent the younger generation at this point. I've known Romal uncle and Phyllis auntie for close to 3+ decades now, I think. I've lost track. Okay. First and foremost, I have to say thank you to both of you for multiple reasons. Auntie for being the guide when I was confused in life and after finishing grade 10 as to what I wanted to do with my life, for counseling me and helping me figure out where my true strengths and weaknesses lie. Romal uncle for always being the intellectual challenger that he is, and all of us in this room completely agree that he challenges all of us at some point in time all through our lives. And most of all, I think for the fact that without the two of you, we wouldn't have Sandeep in our lives. Okay? And without that, we wouldn't have the family that we have today. So thank you very much, and you've been with us. For all of you who don't know, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Phyllis auntie petrified of cooking vegetarian food. Okay? She's a fabulous cook, but she's petrified of cooking vegetarian food, and I have a husband who's completely vegetarian. So she made this awesome meal as when we got married, and till date, those dishes are the ones my husband remembers the best and the most, and he insists that she makes it for him every Christmas lunch. Okay? So thank you for all the fond memories, and wish you many more years of a happy journey together.
Thanks.
I've had the privilege of knowing Phyllis for the last 40 years, I think. First met her in 1983 as my teacher. She was our English teacher, and later on she became my colleague. First, she got me my first job. I'll never forget that. And after that, we became colleagues in the same institute. and the friendship continued over the years. And I think Shonali mentioned, there's a lot to learn from Phyllis. In fact, I think my journey has been guided through the way Phyllis has shaped her life. And I've always held her as a role model. So I also conduct workshops and do a lot of online training. And I always remember what Phyllis used to do when she used to conduct workshops, how she used to establish that rapport, that bond with the audience. So thank you, Phyllis, for all that you have been to all of us, both as a teacher, mentor, a guide, and we have shared a lot of fond memories. In fact, her son and my daughter are both lawyers, and they went to some speech classes also, I remember, together. So thank you so much, and wishing you the very best, and we hope that you will celebrate your platinum and diamond jubilee also. Thank you.
Thanks, Veena. Thanks.
Family in particular. I just want to say thank you so
No,
much.
I think many may not know you.
Okay.
That's my brother Gerard, okay, who has come all the way from the States for this function.
Thank you. Clap for them, not for me. It's their big achievement today, so we need to honor that. I was going back down memory lane, and I remember visiting Allahabad soon after Phyllis and Romal got married as a little kid on vacation. And there have been these experiences right along the way of connecting in different ways. My best memories are of the creative things we used to do, making frosted candles, Phyllis working with my kids to put rocks together and sticking them together to make different things. But recently, I think, how many of you have been reading her blogs? Please do so. They're just amazing, and I think I see both Romuald and Phyllis's thoughts and thinking about life in that. So what struck me is the wide range, right, from being intellectual to working with hands. All these things are things that you see emerging, and it's part of their life together that I think demonstrates that. So I'm just so grateful for everything, and decided that I needed to be here today. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Gerard.
Probably no. I'm 63 now. Everyone knows my age.
Okay.
So I was 13.
13, okay. So, and I think part of that 13 years, I was away from home for maybe the last 4-5 years, I think. So actually, maybe we didn't grow up that much together. So it is subsequent things and maybe the blogs. Yeah, maybe the blogs. Maybe, that would have made a difference.
And you can join in. Good luck, good health, God bless you. That's all our hearts can say. Good luck, good health, God bless you, and guide you on your way. No matter where you wander, as long as we're apart. Good luck, good health, God bless you, and keep you safe for all of us. We love you. God bless you, Phyllis and Romal.
Thank you, Anu.
In life, many a times we stumble. There are moments when we fall into trouble. But it's great to see this beautiful couple. After 50 years, the chemistry in their eyes still sparkles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Phyllis's close friends. Her husband is Russell. I don't want to expand any more on their qualities. I'll take the whole afternoon to do so if I speak. But there's only one word I can say about Phyllis and Romal. They're an awesome couple. If you know them closely, then only you will realize it. All the best, Phyllis and Romal.
Thanks, Mary.
My name is Sunita. So I thought instead of writing a little toast, I would write a poem for Uncle and Auntie. So here goes. I know a man committed to logic, meticulous at work. Uncle, photographers, I can't see my uncle. Let me start again. I know a man committed to logic, meticulous at work, thoughtful about family. I know a woman, creative in thought, inspired by children, beloved at home. I know a husband, actively involved, generous with time, willing to support. I know a wife, compassionate in approach, passionate about teaching, boundless in spirit. An inexplicable alliance, a challenging construct, a complex relationship, a partnership of opposites. You say it cannot, I say it can. You try to slang, I say yin and yang. I know a couple at the milestone of 50. A puzzle for others, but a story for me. Of shared ideals, of essential goals, of complementary talents, of quintessential quirks. Two poles apart, then two lives together. A shared experience, a complete circle. Uncle and aunt, it's your special day. Remember, recall, and celebrate. Congratulations to Romal and Phyllis.
My name is Ramesh. By my side is my friend and colleague, Mr. Sanjeev Kulkarni. We had a wonderful association with our boss, Romuald. In corporate world, there is a saying that it is good to work with a tough boss. And we realized it when Mr. Romuald headed the then Belgaum branch. Mistakes, any amount of genuine mistakes, he will take it. But if you show attitude, take it from me. You had it. Very upright, very straightforward, extremely fair in his dealings, and that is the reason why the staff members used to love him. On his 50th wedding anniversary, me and Sanjeev, both of you wish you health, and health, ma'am, and Mr. Romuald. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just to supplement my friend's views, I would call my boss as a coconut. Very harsh from the front side, but if you see inside, it's just wonderful. I learned a lot of things, lessons. I would like to call myself as a student rather than a colleague. In fact, every day I wish him with a good morning message. I read Madam's blogs every Sunday evening. And I wish both of you, sir, somebody said we should attend his 60th wedding anniversary. I would go further and say 75th. There is a selfish motive also, so that I can also be there for another 25 years. Thanks a lot and have a wonderful day, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. And congratulations, Romuald and Phyllis. Because my name is Joe Pinto. My wife is Eula. Romuald and I have been the colleagues in the bank. Apart from that, his family and my family, we have been living on the same floor of the quarters for several years. So they have been all good Samaritan, good neighbors. As far as the office matters are concerned, Romuald and I more or less were handling identical areas of work. And then I have derived a lot of inputs from him because his ability to insights and analyze things has been extremely good. Someone said that he is outright or forthright. I fully agree with that. And that sometimes perhaps created problems, but then nevertheless, he was able to get through them throughout his career. As far as neighbors are concerned, of course, they were very helpful, extremely helpful, and we used to be each other's guests very often. And his son Sandeep also was very friendly with my sons, and thereby we were very closely associated with each other. So out of these 50 years, quite a lot of years we have been together, and I cannot forget the good deeds and the favors that they have done to our own family. I wish them all the best, and as all of us are wishing, let us look forward to the diamond at the appropriate time. Thank you.
I'm so very grateful to have you in my life. It just means the world that you've been there all these years. I think what I love most about both of you is how you tend to, in your own unique ways, bring out the best in each other, kind of push each other to be the best the other can be. And there's certainly learning in that. I wish you another decade and then another of lots and lots of love and peace and good health and everything you possibly wish for. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
The Rinku Nursery family and the New Millennium School, we wish you a very happy 50th anniversary. Mrs. Farais has been with the New Millennium family for the last 2 decades. She has integrated multiple intelligences into the entire school system, which has really made New Millennium School one of the best schools in Bangalore. She has been a staff and student counsellor, and from the bottom of our hearts, the New Millennium School family and the Rinku family wish you and the very best.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start with a thank you. Phyllis and I thank each one of you for making the time to share our joy. Thank you also for the kind words spoken by some of you. We also thank and are grateful to our son Sandeep, our daughter-in-law Deepika, and our 2 grandchildren Mani and Viti, who have organized this function. There are others who need special mention. My 95-year-old cousin Dottibai and her son and daughter-in-law Francis and Manvi, who have taken the courage to bring her from Delhi, believe it or not. 95-year-old, overcoming all the paranoia that we are having in this country now at the moment. She has come all the way from 95 years on a wheelchair. There are those who have overcome severe constraints and still made it. They are attending this function by overcoming various odds, including the paranoia of COVID. Some have come from out of station. Thank you. And in particular, thank you to Phyllis's brother Gerard, who has come all the way from States. Unfortunately, my cousin Ivor Farais, who has come from Canada, could not attend this function. He's in Bangalore, but could not attend this function due to circumstances beyond his control. I like to clarify at the beginning that we did not want a function to merely celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. Frankly, celebrations hold little meaning to me. The main reason for this function is to give us a forum to publicly acknowledge and thank the very many people who have been a part of our long journey. That is what I intend to do in this speech. Marriage has been defined by a smart aleck as an institution where people out of it want to get in, and people who are in it want to get out. I repeat, is an institution where people out of it want to get in, and people who are in it want to get out. Frankly, we were having similar thoughts. To be honest, both of us had similar feelings before getting married and after getting married. We were very keen on getting married, and I've also felt many a time like getting out. You may not believe, but it's true. To attend and appreciate this, let me take you 50 years back in time, briefly, and walk you through after 5 decades of marriage. The year 1972, I was 27 and Phyllis was 21. We were young, cocky, overconfident, and believe it or not, also foolish. I had a decent job, but no savings. Whatever I could set aside, I sent it to my father, who had lots of property, but no money in his pocket to eat. Despite these impediments, I also did not have money. I borrowed money and married. It's very true. I just borrowed and married. Because whatever money I was sending to my father. Despite these impediments, if you want to call them, we wanted to get married. Many honestly thought we were foolish and heart of hearts did not want the marriage to go through. A few well-meaning persons tried their level best to break our alliance. Just now, 15 minutes or half an hour before in the party, somebody asked me, who are the people who wanted to break our alliance? I can't announce this from this forum because it's too embarrassing. And whatever, I don't know, we may spoil a relationship irretrievably. But if you ask me privately, I'll tell you. To add to this, about a fortnight before our marriage, there was a terrible tragedy. Phyllis lost a dear cousin Peter in a drowning incident. That was the marriage house. Peter was loved by one and all. Consequently, there was more pressure to call off our marriage, or at least put it off. The final decision was, however, left to Uncle Eddie, Peter's father. He was a wise man, respected by all. He in turn decided to give the decision to Phyllis. Phyllis was very close to Peter, and despite the great tragedy, she decided to go ahead with the marriage. And that's how we are here. If the marriage was postponed, it would have separately broken, and it would not have taken place. After getting married, I took Phyllis to Allahabad, where I was then posted. Believe it or not, I took her to an empty house, absolutely empty, believe it or not. No furniture, no beds, no bulb, nothing, totally empty, except for a gas stove. We built our house step by step, one thing at a time, with a sense of clarity. To this day, we continue to build our home. It's a thrill and gives us a lot of joy. Many people have helped us, particularly in our early days. Some need special mention. Maggie and Percy, who received us at the railway station in Allahabad and were of great help to us during our 5-year stay in Allahabad. Sheila and Mahesh Bhargava, who have passed away, and Preeti and her husband. Preeti is present here. Thank you, Preeti. My colleagues, Srivastav and Sarabjit Singh, helped us in many ways. They even went to the extent of teaching Phyllis to speak Hindi. And because in UP of those days, you could not survive without speaking Hindi. And within a few months, You believe it or not, Phyllis picked up a smattering of Hindi and could manage herself very well in Allahabad. She must have taught me to ride a scooter. I had never really ridden even a cycle. So since I had not ridden a cycle, you can imagine my learning to ride a scooter. He used to say, Guy, Bains, Billy, Kutta, sabko maar I bought a second-hand scooter, Vespa, because in those days, there was a waiting period of nearly 10 years for a new scooter. And in any case, I could not afford a new one. That gave us some mobility, because otherwise, there was no public transport in Allahabad except for cycle rickshaws. Phyllis learned to cook, and I gave her a helping hand. One of the ways I helped her was by criticizing her. It has a great impact. She improved my leaps and bounds. Sheila Bhargava taught her the finer nuances. She is a skilled cook now. Those who had the pleasure of dining with us will bear out. And I continue to help her. That brings me to another person to whom I am ever so grateful. Before long, a year after I was posted to Bambroli, a suburb of Allahabad, as a branch head. This was about 14 kilometers from Allahabad. One could not get a house nearby, and there was no convenient bus service to that place. I was forced to ride my scooter up and down about 30 kilometers a day, 6 days a week, and for 3.5 years. Rain, heat, cold, ill health, I had to do that journey because I could not take leave as I was holding the cash keys of that branch. The scooter became my lifeline. The second-hand Vespa scooter gave me no trouble for more than 3 long years. No starting trouble, no cable brake, not even a puncture, believe it or not. The vehicle ran and ran, thanks to my mechanic Navneet, who took great pride in his work and maintained the scooter in tip-top condition. He would always say, "Kuch nahi hoga sahab." Books were our only company. Both of us read and talked often for long hours, which stood in good stead for Phyllis later when she started her professional career. To cut a long story short, over the next 45 years, next 45 years were less difficult. Though these had their share of problems, they were, however, less stressful, but for a couple of major incidents. One being, Phyllis got diagnosed with cancer in 2007. We are thankful to our doctors, especially Dr. Sushila Shetty, who is present here, friends and family who stormed heavens, and she came through with only surgery. As usual, she fought her battles. She was even spared the ordeal of chemo and radiation. We were transferred from UP to Bangalore, and Phyllis started teaching. I quit my job at the age of 44 from Belgaum, where I was posted as branch head. There were 100 people working at that, over 100 people working at that branch. We, including Sandeep, had some of the best time in Belgaum. Some of the colleagues, you just heard them speaking, are still in touch with us. I then joined the private sector. Phyllis started a career as a consultant, counselor, and a trainer. She succeeded beyond all her dreams. There are some people in this gathering, principals, teachers, students, and parents, who have professionally interacted with us. They will vouch for her competence. She still works, and believe it or not, she continues to earn an income in her 70s. Her newfound passion during the pandemic has been to write blogs. Some of you must have read them. I cannot complete this speech without thanking 2 other dear friends, Ishwar Bhatt and Unni Rajgopal. Both are chartered accountants, both brilliant in their own ways. I met both of them in my professional career as a banker. We are still good friends. Ishwar is not present here because he has a family function, but Undi is very much present here. Both of them added to my knowledge of the financial world. Ishwar in particular, with his vast knowledge of stocks and shares, ensured that I was not declared insolvent. It's true. If not for him, I would not have any money. Above all, we were grateful to God Almighty who sustained this marriage of two people who are intrinsically having different natures. We therefore offer this celebration to God and request all our well-wishers who have supported us in this marriage to pray for us. God willing, we will meet again 10 years later. Thank you, Lord. You are the only reason we have made it so far. In conclusion, Phyllis has a workplace in her home. Adjacent to her table, she has a bulletin board where she puts up various things to pep up each other. A few days ago, she put up this poem. She does not know who wrote it. It more or less summarizes her life. I read, "We chose to live by choice." I'm repeating, we chose to live by choice and not by chance. We often made changes but gave no excuses. We were motivated but refused to get manipulated. We decided to be useful and helpful but resisted being made use of. We chose to listen to our inner voice. We chose self-esteem and not self-pity. We chose to listen to our inner voice and not to the random opinions of others. And above all, we chose to live by choice. Thank you.
God willing. But honestly, I wouldn't wish that kind of burden on Sandeep and Deepika. Not with doddering knees and incontinence. After participating in the Mass, whether you were there in person or online, or maybe some have not yet seen the Mass, you must be wondering whether we forgot to include the renewal of the marriage vows, which is a customary thing to do at wedding anniversaries. Well, we did not forget. Romuald and I had a conversation about it and agreed that we did not want to. I personally felt it was irrelevant. I have had to remember and retell myself that I had made a commitment before God and man almost every day of this marriage. There have been days when I thought that Romuald was the most unlovable man on the face of the earth. And I am sure he felt the same about it. And yet we are here 50 years later. The commitment has been sustained with determination, tears, and love. A love that was grounded and mature. It took me some years to understand the meaning of love. I'm sure all young couples, we really don't understand the meaning of love, and it took me some years. But that I did when I came across a definition of love in the book, The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. And as I said earlier, I'm not conducting a workshop, but I'd like to quote that because it has made a lot of meaning to me personally. And I quote, "Love is a willingness to take pains, to bring about a growth in freedom in myself and others." And I think those are some of the highlights of the words. To take pains, it has taken pains. It's not been easy. But there has also been growth in freedom. Yeah, there has been also growth. Painful. The marriage has been painful and tumultuous. A roller coaster ride. And as I said, but there has been growth. As a person and as a couple, I think we have lived the vows. To Romuald, I will say, you have been the wind under my wings. At times a gentle upward thrust, and at times a stormy one. But thank you. 50 years of marriage, and what do we have to account for it? One loved son and daughter-in-law. Should be able to spot her with the pics. Yeah, I can see her. One loved son and daughter-in-law, and 2 lovely and amazing granddaughters. Sweet and chatpata memories, and many blessings to count. To all the thank yous mentioned by Romuald, I wanted to add that each one of you present here has in some way or the other touched our lives. Maybe many years ago, but through the journey. You have touched our lives as an individual or as a couple and as a family. Thank you to each one of you.
Between you all in lunch. She's already thanked everyone, so she just took away anything I'm supposed to say on that front. But thank you very much for being here. There's so much that has been reflected on today, and quite literally from those days in UP till today. And over those 50 years, and 48 and a half of those years, people talk about the bluntness and the straightforwardness. They don't very often talk about the diplomacy on this side. So for many years, I used to tell my friends is that my genetic heritage, so to speak, is the capability to be blunt and diplomatic. And so if you take the first 25 years of my life, it was about being diplomatic all the time because there was straightforwardness and very honest conversation there. But today I like to call it a sophisticated bluntness, a kind of a merger of the two of them and how they brought me up as the way I interact with the world. So I'm very blunt, but I like to believe that that aspect of diplomacy impacts the way I communicate with the world. I'm only going to share one anecdote because there are too many to share. There was a phase in our lives where the 3 of us actually lived in 3 different parts. I was in boarding school, my dad was in the inspection department at SBI, and my mother was in Bangalore. I was probably 8 or 9 at that point of time. And I had been sent to boarding school because he was not confident that he would land up in a place where there would be a good school. And so off I went. Then he went on inspection department to ensure that once I came back from boarding school, there would be stability in Bangalore because the bank allowed for anybody who went to the inspection department to choose a location that they wanted to be based in. So we could continue that base in Bangalore. And my mother was in Bangalore while he was in inspection department and I was in boarding school. So the kind of choices over these last 50 years, I think that one simple fact that when I was about 8 or 9, the 3 of us were literally in 3 different locations. He was probably in Odisha or in West Bengal at that point of time, my mother in Bangalore and me in Rajasthan. So not even close enough places that we could even come together. My boarding school stint was 9 months away from home and 3 months I came home. And in those 9 months, the school called something Parents Week, where they both used to come. But it wasn't even a week, it was actually 5 days. We were cheated even on that front. But that, I think, is a reflection of not just the toughness and the difficult times, but also the potential, the growth, and everything that they both spoke about. So I'm not going to speak anymore. I think that itself is the only anecdote I want to relate to. Thank you very much. This has been wonderful to have you all here, literally representing 50 years of their life. And now, over to lunch. Thank you.